Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Taco Podcast. My name's Will,
I'm Crystal.
and we would like to welcome you back.
Sup?
So, what would you like to talk to the people out there of the internet, the people of the internet, about today?
Oh, nothing. See you guys. Bye. No. So.
Oh, and first, before you begin, though, I hate to cut you off there, but everybody, today is Crystal's 40th birthday again.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Today I'm turning 40 again.
40 years old again today.
Yeah.
Doesn't look a day over 39.
Aw, thanks. So sweet.
Go ahead, no.
Yeah, so, Will asked me to, do a little update, go over a hearing that I was recently a party to, for my unemployment insurance. You all know that, I had left my previous job, to help my son, who was having a lot of issues with the unpredictability of the schedule. As we've talked about before, Will.
He doesn't deal with any type of change at all from a routine. It's part of his autism, and a lot of children and adults who have autism do not deal well with change in schedule, especially when it's not planned. So it was just school ending, for the summer vacation was a massive blow to his day-to-day schedule. We had just gotten him into a routine of going to school and getting up in the morning, getting dressed and cleaned up and eating and then going to school. And then when somebody throws a wrench in there, like there is no school now for the next 3 months, it really set him off on a direction that it took a lot of work between the two of us to kind of redirect him into summer vacation. Now summer vacation is almost over with him. We're going to have to start it all over again. Yes.
And he's getting better as he gets older.
A little bit.
We're able to talk to him a little bit more so we can explain, the changes and prepare him in advance for them. When he was a little bit younger, even just a year younger, we weren't really able to prepare him for those changes. We would talk about it, but there is a communication barrier. And this year, when summer vacation started, the communication barrier has lessened. So
it's still pretty great.
Yeah.
But the major part is though, not only changing his actual structure, in routine, it's that he doesn't have the ability to express emotions, sadness, anger, happiness. He doesn't have those emotions and ability to express them to us. So we can only kind of, work through. We know him better than anybody. We know when he's feeling angry and when he's, frustrated and when he's happy. Usually it's a bowl of Doritos, and some, a glass of milk.
It's difficult for him to express himself.
That's when he's happiest. But yeah.
And that's part of being his parents is helping him with that, helping him to express himself, to get those emotions out. It's a work in progress. As with any child,
yeah. I think every parent out there knows their child uniquely better than anybody else. People can look in at our family, dynamic and say, well, this is what you need to do, and you need to do this, and you need to do that. Some of that might work, but we know our child better than anybody.
We actually,
you had him.
Our his speech therapist has said that part of the reason why he wasn't advancing in his speech was that Will and I knew what he wanted when he wanted stuff, so we would just get it for him. So he didn't have to communicate.
Yeah, we're awful parents.
So
we knew what he wanted, and he has other communication skills. Don't misunderstand me when I'm saying there. He just doesn't have the words, the verbal communications. We started off real early with sign language with him. So we actually started with that as another barrier, not a barrier, but another method for him to communicate, because we knew that he was speech delayed. I mean, so he has ways of expressing things, and he's gotten a lot better in a lot of areas. It's just he still does not have the verbal skills of someone who is 6 years old. But we had kind of went off on a tangent here. So we want to get back to how Crystal, smacked down her former employer.
It was in the spec.
It's WWE SmackDown. But
There was
go ahead.
there was they had challenged my unemployment that I'd had when I had left, and I just got notice of that a couple of weeks ago, and we just did the hearing, and I feel like it went well, but I won't know. I won't know for a while. If it doesn't go in my favor, I can appeal. If it doesn't go in their favor, they can appeal. So there's one more rounds of appeal if people want them. We have 30 days after we get the judgment to appeal either one of us. So
I'm pretty sure that's going to go your way. It didn't start off for them very well. You submitted how many documents?
There was 108.
She submitted 108 documents. They submitted 0. And you were early for the actual meeting, and they showed up late to it. And they're the ones that were appealing. That doesn't look very good to a judge, an actual sitting judge in this case, who has to hear the appeal from them. They appealed, and then they didn't show up on time, and they showed up late. So I don't think that it's going to work out too great in their favor, and I really don't see where they have the grounds, from a legal standpoint, to if they want to appeal it. Yeah, I guess if they want to waste money, I mean, they're a big company. They can waste all the money that they have, and keep on fighting it. But we're not talking about a lot of money here.
Yeah, it's really not.
In the grander scheme of things, unemployment is not something
No
compensation.
one gets rich off of it.
Yeah, no, I mean, it'll barely get you by, if you're lucky.
And that's one of the things I'd like to point out, because I heard a lot of people saying, "Oh, nobody wants to work because they're getting all this money on unemployment." And I've been on unemployment. I was like,
When?
Where is all of this money?
We would like some of that extra money. Yeah, well, I mean, but there were a lot of industries where they got that bonus amount on each and every one of their checks for a certain long period of time.
Yeah.
Your industry, not so much.
Well, and I think part of that is because unemployment, part of the reason why they did that is because unemployment does not pay you what you were making.
No, God, no.
It pays you a lower percentage of what you were
Well,
making.
I think it actually comes out to like a third.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, because you're not making.
At least in our state, it is. It's ridiculous.
You're not making money on unemployment.
If you had a car note, and a mortgage and stuff like that wasn't going to be flexible. I mean, well, you probably would have lost it all during the time that you were unemployed.
Yeah.
But luckily for us, we pay cash for just about everything that we've ever purchased. Her new car. I mean, we paid for it outright. So we didn't have that debt. We didn't have other debts on top of that. Massive amounts of other. Well, we obviously your college loans, but because of COVID, we didn't have to worry about that. The home, we were able to go into a program because of the COVID issue, so we didn't have to pay for that right away. But we've since done that, got done with that, and now we're back, just giving our, everything that we have to, buy this home. Not really, but it feels like it sometimes. It's like, I had money, and then where did it all go? It's all gone. Gone. It's all gone.
Honey, are you gonna be okay?
No.
Okay.
But I have this house.
It's a good place to be sad in.
Right. At least I have a roof over my head. So, I mean, and don't get us wrong. I mean, we're extremely grateful for the opportunities, and there were certain programs out there during this, because it was a safety net that we never in our wildest dreams would have ever thought that it would have taken her that long to actually get employed. She's at the top of her field, and so many employers wanted to, and they kept on saying they're hiring, but they weren't really hiring. at all, and they were putting it off, and probably taking losses on their upcoming taxes.
We've
Yeah.
talked about that in a previous video.
Yeah, we
how
did.
a lot of people would post. They would say that they were urgently hiring. You would apply, wouldn't hear anything. And then-
I'll put a link to that episode up here in the corner. It's either this corner or that corner. I
Yeah.
can never remember which one it is.
And then months later, that job or that job posting is still up there, urgently hiring. How are you still urgently hiring? It's
Yeah.
been 6 months. Okay, so
Well-
I wasn't the right applicant, but you didn't get the right applicant in 6 months.
And you
especially-
applied for thousands of jobs. You know,
Especially on Indeed, it says how many applications they've gotten for a particular job, and thousands of applications employers would get, and yet months later those jobs are still posted.
well,
And I did interview for several positions. I believe I spoke earlier. I was the second pick for a very competitive position at a highly regarded research laboratory. I'm super bummed about that. But then I was like, well, you know what? I didn't get picked, but
hey, it all
second
works
place
out in the end.
for a really competitive position with a really well regarded laboratory, that's nothing to sneeze at. So I didn't get the job, but they called me and specifically asked if I would be willing to keep my application open in case their first applicant didn't work out. And I'm like, that's nothing to sneeze at. That's good. That's good. You know, don't feel bad that you didn't get it. I mean, feel bad that you didn't get it, but don't be super bummed because, I mean, damn, second
Well,
pick is
I know
still,
people who
you know.
were looking for entry level positions at different companies. They had more than enough they had the qualifications. And they didn't have criminal history, and everything else. They applied for, I mean, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of jobs for minimum wage, and these places have giant signs. They even, instead of Whoppers, discounted on the sign, it said now hiring. Everybody had it up, and when he finally got a job, he got it at a local restaurant, as a busboy, dishwasher. He's doing 3 jobs that used to be done by 3 different people at this, and it's a fairly large franchise, place that we know of that's here locally in our town. But when he finally got the job, he asked the manager. He goes, "How long did it take? When you from the time you put the position up, before you hired me?" And the job the job of busboy and dishwasher had been open for 6 months. And then he said that we have an entire cardboard file box of applications for that job. He goes, finally, we got the money in because we got the PPP money in, and then we decided to fill the position. But until we actually got that money in our bank account, we weren't going to fill the position. So now he's doing the job of 3 people for minimum wage. But he applied for hundreds of jobs to get that one job. So don't think that it was just people, with advanced degrees, and higher up, in a position like you are. It's a lot of people from all spectrums, struggle to find work.
Well, and that's kind of the issue too, is that a lot of places weren't hiring during COVID. In some places, like I said, they would have jobs up,
Yeah.
and they weren't hiring. And then some places won't give you a call back if they feel you're overqualified for a position. And I mean, on the one hand, I kind of get it because they know that you're going to be leaving once something that better matches your qualifications comes open. But on the other hand, come on, man, I need a job.
It's like my friend Rick, who got turned down for a position with our local police department because his IQ is too high. I was like, really? You got turned down because you're too smart? And he said, yeah. Because they basically told him, we can't hire you because you will not last in this position. It's just an entry level, beat cop, basically. And we know you're going to get bored, and you're going to be the first one out the door as soon as something comes along that's more suited to, your education, and your knowledge base.
Ouch.
And he's like, but I need a job. How am I supposed to live between now and then? He goes, but he told me, he goes, the one thing he absolutely respected about it was they were upfront and they told him about that at the interview. They said, Otherwise, he would have taken that job, and he would have known it too. Within 6 to 9 months from working the position, he knew he was going to probably end up leaving. But at least they were honest and told him up front, "You're just not a perfect fit for this because you're too smart."
Mm.
They don't want him too dumb, but they don't want him too smart. They want him just somewhere in between. Follow the rules just enough. Kind of like Forrest Gump. And when the drill instructor, well, okay, there's a part in the movie. There's a part in the movie where the drill instructor is screaming in the face of Forrest Gump, and he asks him a question. He goes, "How did you become the absolute worst, recruit to becoming the best one in your whole squad?" And he's something to that effect. And he said, I just stopped, doing what I was doing and started listening to you, drill instructor. So that's what they want. They want somebody who's not too smart, not too dumb, but somebody who's just going to do everything that they ask. So, what else is on your plan of agenda? It's your birthday.
I'm gonna eat cake all day. My family's actually waiting for the podcast to get done. Our extended family is visiting.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go chill out with the kiddos for a bit.
Well, we can make this podcast last forever. But thank you. In here, nobody's bothering you.
It's hot in his studio. I'm cutting this short. I'm sorry, guys. It's so hot. I don't even know how he does his regular recordings in here because it's so hot. It's miserable.
Yeah, well.
I even bought him a portable air conditioner.
No, it's not an air conditioner. It's not.
I bought him what I thought. I bought him what I thought was a portable air conditioner. It turned out it was not a portable air conditioner, but he tried to use it anyways. Basically, you put ice in it. It's a fan with ice.
You could make a better one out of an igloo cooler.
Anyways, I bought it for him to help cool down his office, and it broke.
Yeah. Not even a day.
But it's miserable in here.
It's not miserable. This is actually pretty nice compared to and right now the temperatures that we have daily outside are 110 to maybe even hotter during the day, and at night it cools down into maybe the 80s. Like last night, it cooled down to 86 degrees, and today it'll be 113. So hey, it'll be like sitting inside of an oven in here today, for me. But these are the things that I have to do for our viewers.
Aww,
so I'm doing this for you. So everybody in the comments section down below, if you will, please comment and tell Crystal happy birthday. And thank you for being here today. And I just want everybody, to know, and to you to know specifically, I love you. And happy birthday.
I love you too, babe. Thank you.
Thumbs up maybe for that? All right, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. That's the update. That's the Taco Podcast for today. I hope everyone has a terrific week. Remember, I'm on vacation until the 24th. So I will see you all later. Say goodbye.
Stay safe out there.
Hey, that's my...